A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I welcome you to this episode of Sahur Kitchen. Today, inshallah ta'ala, we are dedicating to a group of people that are, some of them are your neighbors, some of them are your friends, some of them are your family members, and we want to lend a voice to their struggles, and that's what we're going to be looking at today. But before I bring on my guest, let me remind you that this year is our farewell year. We are saying goodbye. We're shutting down our activities on Sahur Kitchen as you know it. It's been 8 years of servicing you, spending time with you every Ramadan, and so it's not a pleasant decision to walk away from spending time with you. However, we have other things that will be coming your way, so just keep tabs on us, follow us on our various social media handles so you know what next projects that we are getting involved in. But let me not bore you too much. Let me bring on my guests on the other side of this break and we'll get the kitchen started. Stay with us. You're welcome back if you're just joining us. We're just about to cook this morning. I'm bringing my guest right now. I am inviting to the kitchen to cook with us Hajia Sanusi Fawzat Olubukola. She is a lupus survivor and advocate and currently the director of Lupus Remedies Global Support Foundation, where she caters to the needs of fellow warriors and blends a voice to these struggles that they go through. Assalamu alaikum to barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you.
Alhamdulillah, very well, alhamdulillah. Thank you so much for doing this with us, and thank you for using yourself as a, I don't want to use the word guinea pig, but then you've thrown yourself out there to be used as an example for people to know that this thing is real and there are real sufferers, and bringing help to those that really need it. And may Allah continue to strengthen you and grant you complete shifa.
Amen.
Jazakallah khair for doing so. So what are we doing this morning?
Yeah, actually, as a lupus warrior, we feed organic. Right. So, and to avoid flares, So basically, people love swallow. And if you look at many of the swallow, we have processed. So, going in line with the carb feeding, and the keto feeding, and then off carb, we came across the cabbage, carrots, cucumber, garden egg, swallows. So that's
so this morning, I know I went through part of it because because it's Sahur, there's a lot of prep that goes on the night before. So one of the things you can do is to prep your. I don't turn to chief chef now. Let me just tell you this one because it was very interesting for me watching this process. So this is cabbage.
That's the cabbage. That's the cabbage fruits.
So blend it.
Blended cabbage. Just blend it normally. Just slice it. Have it smoothly blended, but one thing about cabbage is that it's of fiber nature, so it won't go too smooth. Yes. So definitely you need to sieve it.
So the same way you sieve your pap.
Exactly.
The same way you sieve
this is the best sieve for it.
I don't want you to just be imagining. That's why I brought koro koro. May you say things take down. So this is it. Just put the contents that you blended into this
and pull out the
take
water
out the
because we
water
don't
and then-
need the water.
Yes.
So then we have our
So that's what
vegetables.
we're having a swallow. and
Yes,
then
we can take
vegetable.
any vegetable, but today we have the green.
Right.
So it's called the Hamarath green.
Okay.
So the Tete,
That's it.
that's it. So
And broth.
everything we have
pepper.
here is natural.
Everything.
No stock. We don't use condiments.
Yes.
So, but then we
No,
come
we're
out.
showing you, but we're not using it. So it's
Yes. Then
all
we have the ginger as the alternative to bring out the taste. So
Right.
it has been properly blended with onions.
So it's onion, it's pepper.
Pepper. We have onions. We have the bell pepper. We have the rodo tomatoes and the tatashi, the bell peppers. Then we have our onions. We are still adding some more. So
Garnish,
just to garnish it. So that's all. Then we
And
have
for
the
locust beans.
locust beans. We have the
Crayfish.
crayfish, the stockfish, poroko. Then
So
this is our binder. Because cabbage will not come together.
It's a loose.
So it needs something natural as well to make it bind up. So we have this psyllium ox. We use it.
Psyllium
Yes,
ox.
it's gotten from trees and mainly it's used to treat constipations naturally. So, but for food
So is
like
it a spice? Kinda.
it falls under a spice when we are using as binders,
Okay.
but
Otherwise,
it
how
is
else
used
can
for
you use it?
digestive process.
So you just mix
If
it
there
in
is
water and drink.
constipation, we mix in water, people drink.
We're good to
together.
go. So before we start cooking, or while we start, tell me how you like to start. I'm your kitchen assistant. Send me on anywhere around. This is what I'm here for.
Okay,
Like to
we can have the oilless vegetable, but for the purpose of this, we can have palm oil.
No, let's do
Just
the
start
oilless. Let me
oilless.
go. Let's. So it's you. It's all about you.
Okay.
And, you know, lupus survivors and warriors. Let's
All right then.
satisfy you to the fullest.
Okay.
Let's
All right.
live in your shoes for today.
Okay. So the lupus warriors basically feed on white meats. So chicken is one of it. So it should be a live chicken. Then because of the processing, it should be live. Chicken, turkey, rabbits. Then so mainly these are stock if we are doing oilless vegetable.
Right.
So we are basically taking just the natural oil from this
Chicken.
so we are not adding any extra.
All right, let's start. Tell me how
Okay.
to start and I'm good
So
to
we
go.
can have our pepper on fire.
I'll
then we
start
add-
for you. So tell me, I've just been saying lupus. What is lupus? There are
Yeah.
people that have absolutely no idea. You know, if I say malaria, I can visualize what malaria is. I
Yeah.
can visualize, even though we can't necessarily visualize cancer,
Okay.
but at least we know what it is. So exactly what is lupus? How does it affect you? What does it do to your body and all of
Okay.
that?
Lupus is an autoimmune condition, and it's a condition whereby the body fights itself. And the body fighting itself, in a layman language, we put it simple. It's just like you having Nigeria as a nation, then the army of Nigeria, the
Fighting the
soldiers
citizens.
fighting the citizens, you know. So eventually people will attack back, and then it's just like when we have this
That's
chaos,
quite chaotic.
you know. So this happens in the body, and this is as a result of the immune system being overactive.
Okay.
It fights everything.
So does this start from birth? Is it something that's
Yes, from my experience, because researches are still ongoing, and you know, from my own experience and dealing with lupus warriors, I actually think there is a research that should still be able to test lupus from birth, because it's something that is there, but just need some triggers. And these triggers are not something known to many people. So if you have lupus, you're a lupus carrier, and you don't know, you shouldn't even stay in the sun, you know? It could trigger lupus. So I think it's worth, research should get to a level that you'll be able to say, we had birth, we can test for sickle cell, we can test for other ailments, then probably one day we should be able to test for lupus, so that this person will know that I'm a carrier. I shouldn't
these
say
are the things
these
I
are
should
the
stay away
things I
from,
should
certain
stay away
triggers. Just like asthma, for example, you know that there's dust trigger, there's wind trigger,
exactly.
there's smoke triggers, all those triggers, then you avoid it so you can live a healthier life.
So there is no, the research has not gotten to that level.
So on another note, do people get quickly? Is there quick diagnosis for it? Do people get diagnosed for it?
No, apparently for now, even to diagnose lupus now, there is no diagnostic center in Nigeria that can diagnose lupus. We actually will have to get our samples out to either Germany, Turkey, or South Africa before lupus can be diagnosed. So it's something that still needs a whole lot of inputs in the health sector. So, and you having somebody being symptomatic, then you need to give medications. So sending the samples out of Nigeria for about 2 weeks, what happens to the patient? So what our doctors do is that they just look at some critical conditions and tests.
So give us examples of things that can tell you that maybe this person, because sometimes we have someone listening or watching right now and say, oh, maybe this lupus,
the funniest thing about lupus is that it mimics everything.
Mimics everything.
So it is called the great masquerader. So if lupus is presenting, it presents like malaria. When you see someone having frequent malaria, you've been treating and managing this malaria, and it's not coming through, like not getting off it, and many doctors are just beginning to know about it. So they keep treating malaria, they keep treating typhoid, because there is this particular clinical examination called the ECG. When it is high, it is always suspected to be my typhoid fever. But then lupus is also a pointer of the ECG being high. So aside that, frequent malaria, frequent typhoid, weakness, just notice you can't even do anything, you know. And you know, we force things in Nigeria, we just believe that, oh, why me? But you can't even pick, you can't do anything. Then another thing is that there is these rashes that you can notice. So when the rashes come, maybe you just slept and just wake up and meet the rashes, you're like, oh, what rashes is this? Some people will say, what a tamilofa. You know the Yoruba thing. Yeah, it's an attack from the village. So it looks diabolic. And then we call this the mala rash. We have it at different parts of the body. It can be anywhere. But mainly, it gives a butterfly signal. You probably might have seen people with some rashes that will just form the butterfly, and it's called the butterfly rash. So with these, they are pointers. When people see it, they just believe that, or when it is healing or is not getting the attention it should get, that person is not meant to be in the sun, it increases the flares. So it comes out more. Maybe that person took, let's say an Avacin as a lupus warrior. It could push out anything. So you keep managing and fighting a whole lot of things. So at times, these malarias present like cancer. So many people will just be like, maybe it's cancer. It's not cancer. So it mimics everything. There are times lupus gets into the lungs and present like tuberculosis. I was there. I was at the IDH and they were like, it is tuberculosis, but it's negative. So I was locked up for about 3 days. But I had to tell them, let me go. Even if it is tuberculosis, I will find a way to manage it beyond this. But unfortunately for me, I was on tuberculosis drug for about a year and a half. And then it was... It didn't normally take that long to be treated. I had 10 years of wrong diagnosis.
Oh my goodness.
So it's over the 10 years, it was from one hospital to another. And you see doctors telling you, madam, I don't know what it is, you know. So I continued struggling and saying if I could get better out. But then when it wasn't forthcoming, I focused me and whatever symptoms comes along. There was a time I was on the tuberculosis drug, I almost got paralyzed. And one of the effects of lupus is paralysis, stroke, you know. So, but got so good, my medication was adjusted and I was able to scale through. So that was about 2015 until 2018. I had to scream out to my brothers that say this is happening to me, and then I'm seeing some rashes. It came from the nuts, so I was like, look, in the nuts, so we can start adding some things. In the nuts, let's have the chicken. So in the nuts, you have seen a lot of things, you know. So have you seen this before? So he told me this is an autoimmune response. Your body is trying to tell you, I don't want some things. So, okay, let's see, it was on my skin then, and that is the discoid lupus. So we had to see a dermatologist, you know. So on getting to the dermatologist, she was like, oh, this is lupus. And you know the amazing thing? She said, madam, please, can you let my students see, please? They may not have seen this before. Will you people give me my life? I said, we'll try. Take you come and see, people should do everything, you know. So I had to go for the test for lupus. That's the ANA test. I was tested positive, and they were like, I need to start some steroids to call back my body, to bring down my immunity. So we are always on immunosuppressant drugs.
Because you are hyper.
So it has to come down, you know. So I started the medications, and I did a lot of other tests. But it's a dermatologist seeing me. That is not the doctor for lupus.
Yes, because that's the person who spotted
it. So I was doing it religiously until 2020. Lupus came totally. Even COVID, my husband locked me up because I have started having shortness of breath, which is one of the symptoms of lupus. And he was like, is it COVID? Then hydroxychloroquine was the medication I was taking. We used to buy a sachet to 2,500. It's one of our medications and also used for COVID. We started buying a sachet, 65,000 naira. So you can imagine. And I had to stop. I got an alternative that was not working so well for me, but I can't afford 65,000 naira per sachet for just 5 days. So we kept on believing it will go.
So it's not just, it's a very expensive.
Very expensive. Lupus is very expensive. So that is just one. Can we have the other stuff? That is just one of, yes, we can add everything. So
and the broth is here. I need to take a break, and when we come back from the break, when we come back, more to come on Sahur Kitchen. Stay with us.
Attention all parents! Are you looking for an exceptional school that caters to both your child's academic and spiritual needs? Look no further than IMAT Schools, Lekki. We are pleased to announce that admission is now open for the 2023-2024 academic session for early years, primary and secondary school levels. Our school offers a unique blend of Islamic and contemporary education with day and boarding facilities. Our 21st century educators utilize modern labs and workshops to ensure that our students are equipped with the skills and knowledge needed to succeed in the future. In addition to academics, we also provide a sports arcade and an integrated curriculum that combines both Nigerian and Cambridge syllabus to give your child the best of both worlds. Don't just take our word for it. IMAT Schools was awarded the British Council International School Award in 2021 for our exceptional standard of education. For more information and to enroll your child, please call us at 080-6151-2696 or 070-3424-5368. Invest in your child's future today with IMAT Schools, Lekki.
You're welcome back. It's the Sahur Kitchen, and we are looking at lupus and how you can be a voice lend a voice to the struggle. SubhanAllah, you do not know what Allah has done for you with the health that you have. You are not having to struggle. Off camera, it's as expensive as 250k per month for just maintenance drugs, and it goes as high as 650k depending on what kind of drugs that you are taking and what level this lupus has taken your system to. SubhanAllah. So just before I said we'll need to look more into with all that you're going through. You shouldn't be a lone sufferer. What is happening? Interventions from other NGOs, interventions from the government. Where are we? And from what I hear, we're still a far cry from where we should be in terms of diagnostics. People are not even properly diagnosed. It took you 10 years to get a correct diagnosis. What is happening to many other people suffering and dying in silence, being treated for wrong diagnosis?
Yeah, one of the things we actually are clamoring for now through Lorex Support Foundation is early diagnosis. It will save a lot. I went through 10 years and that has destroyed a lot of things. But alhamdulillah, Allah actually have a purpose because I can't even know, I did not know I would survive it, you know. So lupus is not contagious. So, you know, since it is not contagious, nobody really cares. And
if it was a communicable disease,
it was a communicable disease. Do you understand what we're saying now? So the only thing is that when you hear the story of the sufferers, you really have to ask, are you human? Because normally in the Yoruba land, they call lupus warrior Emiri. Emiri. The normal Emiri, you know.
What?
And in Igbo, you know, the Ogbanje thing. They just tell the parent that this child is not in this world. It's just, this one is an evil child. That is what many lupus warriors have gone through. They go to churches, water, beat them, brooms, go to imams, onto, and many other things that will even go as far as destroying the kidney. So it's something that is not saying. If you see me on the road, you don't see me looking, because I'm on medication. It reverses us back, the skin, everything. You look good, you look soft to touch. People even come and pull my cheeks, you know, but then we are always in everyday pain. So it's unexplainable, you understand? But with the drugs, it slows it down, we take precautions, we don't eat what we are not supposed to eat, we don't go into the sun, we attack everything immediately. So that is how we manage it. Then the interventions.
Imagine someone that does not know is a lupus sufferer and
there are a lot of people,
or a carpenter or an outdoor worker, and so he's constantly in the sun.
Not just the sun, a lot of other lights. There are so many lights we don't stay on there. We just avoid some lights. When we are there, we know that we use the sunscreen to stay for that moment and be prepared to leave as early as possible. You know. So interventions were not coming some years back. My NGO is just 1.5 years, and to the glory of God, I took to resilience. I was mad. I was just like, why? How come nobody told me about this? I'm just a 2-year survivor. And meeting my doctor, the doctor for lupus is the rheumatologist. So we tell people, when you see your managing fever, typhoid, you know, let's add the stock to test them. We are managing fever, typhoid. Okay, thank you. With managing fever, typhoid, don't forget I tell you we are doing oilless vegetables, so we're using just.
No, I'm walking in your shoes today. I'm eating as you eat. Let's
I hope this won't take a long time to dry off. So, all right then. We actually had to call on people, individuals. They started giving us some medications. And May 10 is the World Lupus Day nationwide. Right. And you know, when I get to ministries and write them May 10 World Lupus Day, they are not aware. But how come the awareness?
But we celebrate everything,
every other
There's
thing, you know. So with that, we started getting the government attention. We got insurance for lupus warriors from Lashma.
Okay.
So Lagos State Health Insurance Management, though it has a, you know what insurance is, regulated things we can do on it because of the cost of managing what emergencies.
But something is
so and some of our medications.
You've made it move from zero awareness
exactly.
to 0. something, but we're there. We're making progress.
Exactly. So the awareness is there now. Some of our we do monthly investigations to be sure no organ is down. So when I said I almost lost it 2020, my lungs was affected. I started having shortness of breath. It was at my kidney. So I had to scream and cry out. So I tell people, please, they never be ashamed to call for help. You wouldn't know if you are talking to the person that has your solution. So my screaming out actually made it wonderful. And I was able to get the help I needed financially. Friends were able to contribute. When you hear a disease they call Agbano, it's lupus will take away everything. So at that time you will get to know it is lupus. You have nothing again. So that's why people will say, this child, you understand? But not standing because of the late diagnosis and the wrong diagnosis. You will have gone through a whole lot, spent all, before you know, oh, it's lupus. Then you now face it
Right.
at that time. We need to get this pot on fire. Our
Do you need water
toner.
in it?
No. It's like we need a little water, but not really water. We just need to steam it.
Okay.
Then
So I'll just do that here. So it's
Okay.
closer to you. So tell me, some water in it, or this goes in first? I need to
we
go
don't
and
need
set
water.
the table
We
and
need to just break this. Can I have it toner, please?
Yes, of course. Turner coming through. Here you go.
So we can just. This is just
Oh,
okay. Then we have it. Once it's steamed up, it changes color a little.
okay.
Then we do our asylum, add a little water just to steam again. Doesn't really have much.
There's not a lot, and then
And-
this stays. It's at the last.
It's at the last stage. So I just wanted to just simmer off a little.
The vegetables.
Everything fresh.
I agree with
So
you. You have to
everything fresh because our medications are steroids. If you take in the good, it doubles up. So if you take in the bad, it's also a few double. So that is it. It's an ironic life. So if you're taking something good and you're taking your medication, you look good, you look fresh. So if you keep taking the bad, it will accelerate.
I agree with you.
Right. So we fight it back.
Thank you so much. We'll go on a break now. I need to go set the dining, help to clean up all of this while she wraps up the cooking. We'll see you at the dining to enjoy our meal and have a bit more conversation around the post. Stay with us. You're welcome back if you're just joining us. It's still Sahur Kitchen, but until then, we've been chatting with Haja Fauzat. She's the director of Lurex Support Foundation, and she's talked us through the world of lupus and how it affects the sufferers, the warriors, and how they pull through and what they do, their choice of meal, their choice of, they have to change lifestyle. Think about lifestyle changes and everything that happens once you know that it's worse when you don't know, but once you know, it's a lot easier to get managed. So, for me, it's a wrap here, but it doesn't end here. We're bringing this your way so that you are aware of lupus. You know that there are sufferers out there, there are warriors, and watching to lend a hand. There is nothing to stigmatize them about because who knows, you could even be a sufferer, you could even be a carrier and you don't even know because it hasn't manifested. So on a general note, change your lifestyle, be more healthy, be more intentional about what you consume. You are what you eat healthy, you live healthier. So I think if you already have a healthy lifestyle, ditch the condiments that are non-organic as much as possible and reduce your breast minimum, get rid of sugar and all the components of sugar to breast minimum.
You can just have an alternative.
It makes it a lot easier. It makes it a lot easier to live through life, live through whatever conditions.
Many times we look at the cost, but at the end of the day, we spend more trying to revive. So it's better to make your food your medicine rather than making your medicine food. It's more expensive.
Very interesting point to close it. Jazakumullah khair. Thank you so much for coming through. We'll see you same time tomorrow. We'll bring another good package of Sahur Kitchen. Wassalam.